What is character? Merriam-Webster's dictionary defines character as the complex of mental and ethical traits marking and often individualizing a person, group, or nation. Garfield the orange cat is not a group or nation, but he is a person in a way. But what is a person? One definition of person is a human being. Now, that doesn't quite match Garfield, does it? However, if we look at the second definition of person, I think you'll start to understand what I mean. A person who likes or enjoys something specified. Think about Garfield. Does Garfield like something specified? Well, he enjoys sleeping. He likes lasagna. He enjoys kicking Odie off the table. Garfield is a person. Now that we know that Garfield is a person, what does this mean? Well, we know that when someone is a person who likes or enjoys something specified, sometimes they'll make a movie about said person. Famous people often get movies made about them that show audiences what they like or enjoy. And that is absolutely true for our favorite orange feline, Garfield.
This summer, the world's laziest cat makes his big screen debut in Garfield.
I'm a walking dog.
It takes much more than lasagna to get this fat cat moving.
I think we arrived at a time when technology really has allowed Garfield to do a film.
When Garfield's first theatrical film was released to the public back in 2004, audiences were not prepared for the intricate masterpiece that laid before them. Critics dismissed the film, proclaiming it had nothing of substance to offer. However, there are some that understand the true genius of Garfield the Movie. Today, we're going to be examining the perfection of Garfield the Movie and how the film excellently explores character. But first, a word from our sponsor.
Hi, I'm Marty McJenkins, owner of the best supply house this side of the river. Are you sick of the fact that you gotta go all the way to a store to get yourself a lasagna and you just want to get some lasagna right now? Are you sick of waiting in line in the grocery store with your lasagna in hand? Maybe it's frozen, maybe it's not frozen, and you're sitting there and there's someone in front of you with 20,000 billion items in their cart and you're like, just hurry it up, man, I gotta eat my lasagna. That's where my brand new service comes in. McJenkins Lasagna Delivery Plus. The plus is there because our service is a plus. Just buy and download the app right now and you'll be super close to buying yourself a lasagna and having it delivered straight to your door. Just listen to some of our glowing testimonials.
Man, this app is the best. I spent money to get the product and it arrived before my funeral. What a deal! I'd love to give them even more of my money soon. A+.
Yeah, I ordered some on the app and it was delivered within a certain amount of time. I ate it and it was delicious. Buy the app now.
I wish that I had 10 more credit cards I could max out buying this product on the app. That would be cool. Please. You have to buy this app right now.
I don't know how to explain it, but I know he's moving. I see him move. I hear him speak to me. You don't understand. He told me. He told me he wanted to be free.
Normally, our lasagnas are worth $10 each, but if you download the app right now and use promo code OUTHOT you'll be able to get 2 lasagnas for only $20, plus shipping and handling and the delivery fee, and you better tip your driver. What are you waiting for? Just buy and download the app right now. Only on the online stores where you can buy apps on. Hi, I'm Marty McJenkins and I approve this commercial. Eat lasagna, yum yum.
As always, thanks to Marty McJenkins and his amazing lasagna delivery app for sponsoring today's video. Lasagna is great. The movie begins by establishing some very strong characterization for our central protagonist. We see Garfield asleep in bed, something that not only cats are known to do quite frequently, but also that we see Garfield doing very often in the comics. After he's awoken by an alarm clock, he proclaims his signature line.
I hate Mondays.
As a true Garfield fan, I was thrilled at the inclusion of this line. It shows that the writers really dug deep into Garfield's character and were able to swiftly and thoroughly establish a core aspect of his character, not even a minute into the film. Truly incredible. Next, Garfield wakes up his owner, John Arbuckle, and we see Garfield engaging in the third and final core of his characterization, eating food. So, what aspects of character have we established about Garfield so far? He likes to sleep. He hates Mondays. He loves food. This is incredibly good setup for Garfield's character, but we have to remember that he's not the only character. We have another central protagonist to establish. John Arbuckle is Garfield's owner. We establish some important aspects of his character in the opening scene of the film as well. First, we see that John has pictures of Garfield all over the place, showing how much he loves Garfield. In my opinion, this establishes that John sees Garfield as more of his own child than a cat. Next, we see him sleeping, which reveals that he likes to sleep. After he's awoken by our favorite lasagna-loving cat, we see that John is taking a shower, which tells the audience that John likes to keep himself clean, which proves a popular theory that John doesn't like to be dirty. Finally, we see John preparing breakfast for both himself and Garfield. Garfield unfortunately switches their food, which causes John to throw up in the sink. Within only a few minutes, we've established some very important information on John Arbuckle's core character traits. He loves his cat, he likes to sleep, he likes to be clean and not dirty, he likes to eat food, and he doesn't like to eat cat food. It's incredible that the film writers were able to tell the audience all of this important information on John and Garfield's characters within the first 5 minutes of the movie. As we'll see throughout the rest of this film, these established character traits will remain consistent for the duration of our characters' journeys. Now, there's one thing everyone in the theater, including myself, were confused at by the beginning of this film. Where's Odie? I thought. Because we all know that in order for a Garfield theatrical film to work, we need Garfield's greatest foil, Odie. Well, before we get to Odie, we're introduced to the central antagonist of our film, Happy Chapman. On the outside, he's a happy man who just wants to sell a product, but on the inside, he's an evil capitalist who just wants to sell a product, and he's bad to animals. I think it's important to establish that a good antagonist in any story must have layers, and we see the layers that Happy Chapman has. We see how he goes from being a happy spokesperson to an evil villain who, being overcome with jealous rage, wants to become as famous as his younger brother, Walter J. Chapman. His motivation is very deep, and shows how the screenwriters really focused on making a compelling antagonist for our favorite lasagna-loving cat. So Garfield gets a stomachache from eating way too much lasagna, and John decides to take him to the vet to help him feel better. Well, actually that's not true. John takes Garfield to the vet because he wants to spend time with Liz, the girl next door type that John desperately wants to be with. Now remember earlier when I listed out characteristics that describe John? This move doesn't line up with what we know about his character thus far, but in a way, we as an audience should have seen this coming. Despite John loving Garfield and hating cat food, we understand that there must be something more to life that John wants. This is where John's sixth characteristic comes in. Wanting a woman. This is something that a lot of people can relate to, because women are cool. But what does this say about John's character as a whole? What does this desire for a woman speak to the deep intricacies of his character? Socrates once said, "Love is the consciousness of a need for a good not yet acquired or possessed." Perhaps before this film began, John was already conscious of his need for a good that he had not yet acquired or possessed. But perhaps, because of several factors, he determined in his heart that he was not worthy of love, that no one could love him. I mean, look at this guy. Would you date him? Would you be seen out in public with him? Obviously not. So John internalized the fact that he would never find love, and determined instead to visit the veterinarian clinic as often as he could, to see the woman he desired most. Liz gives a dog to John. The dog's name is, yes, You guessed it.
His name's Odie.
And this is where we reach the biggest problem plaguing this film. 13 minutes into the film, we're treated with one of the biggest reveals in cinematic history. The moment that John adopted Odie. And guess what? Odie isn't yellow. He looks nothing like he did in the comics. Not only does this destroy Odie's characterization before we even have the chance to meet him and understand his character, it also ensures that the audience is going to completely lose interest in the rest of the film. Odie has been character assassinated. This movie is terrible. Oh yeah, I already skipped over an important moment in the film where we're introduced to Nermal. Now, this is what Nermal looks like. He's a small gray kitten and everyone thinks he's cute, right? Now, here's the scene in the film where we're introduced to Nermal.
Yeah, look, the milk truck.
Oh, atta boy, Nermal. The milk truck comes every day.
Yeah, but maybe not today.
I know, you're confused, but that is supposed to be Nermal. What even is this? Who is that? Why does he sound like a weird man? This movie is terrible. And that is why Garfield the Movie thoroughly develops every character in this flawless masterpiece. Hope you guys join me next time for another great Garfield video. Thanks for watching.